Welcome to our channel. Today, we will explore a topic that has fascinated many for decades: the Bermuda Triangle. This mysterious area of the Atlantic Ocean has captured the imagination of explorers, scientists, and the general public alike. Stories of lost ships and vanished aircraft have created a sense of intrigue and wonder. What lies beneath the waves of this enigmatic region? Join us as we uncover the story of the Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle is a region in the western part of the North Atlantic Ocean where mysterious circumstances have happened in the past. It is also known as the Devil's Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle first gained widespread attention in the 1950s and 1960s when several ships and planes went missing in the region under mysterious circumstances. Some people believe that the Bermuda Triangle is a place where supernatural, unknown, and mysterious forces account for unexplained disappearances. Despite the popular myths surrounding the Bermuda Triangle, many scientists and experts argue that the region does not have a significantly higher rate of incidents than other heavily traveled areas. They attribute the disappearances to natural factors such as unpredictable weather patterns, magnetic anomalies, and human error. The Bermuda Triangle, renowned for its mysterious disappearances, can be demystified by examining logical explanations. For decades, the mythological Bermuda Triangle in the Atlantic Ocean has captivated human imagination with unexplained disappearances of ships, planes, and people. The northern part of the Atlantic Ocean is crossed by many commercial and private aircraft daily, making it one of the most heavily traveled shipping lanes globally. It is subject to frequent tropical storms and hurricanes, as the region lies in the Atlantic Hurricane Basin where the Gulf Stream passes through the Bermuda Triangle. The Gulf Stream, a strong ocean current, flows through the western part of the North Atlantic Ocean, causing sharp changes in local weather. Although the Bermuda Triangle is not officially recognized as a region, not appearing on any world map, and lacking recognition from any government or international organization, some explanations are more grounded in scientific evidence, if not entirely proven. Triangle writers have used a number of supernatural concepts to explain the events. One explanation pins the blame on leftover technology from the mythical lost continent of Atlantis. Sometimes connected to the Atlantis story is the submerged rock formation known as the Bimini Road off the island of Bimini in the Bahamas, which is in the triangle by some definitions. Followers of the purported psychic Edgar Cayce take his prediction that evidence of Atlantis would be found in 1968 as referring to the discovery of the Bimini Road. Believers describe the formation as a road, wall, or other structure, but the Bimini Road is of natural origin. Some hypothesize that a parallel universe exists in the Bermuda Triangle region, causing a time/space warp that sucks the objects around it into a parallel universe. Others attribute the events to UFOs. Charles Berlitz, author of various books on anomalous phenomena, lists several theories attributing the losses in the triangle to anomalous or unexplained forces. Compass problems are one of the cited phrases in many triangle incidents. While some have theorized that unusual local magnetic anomalies may exist in the area, such anomalies have not been found. Compasses have natural magnetic variations in relation to the magnetic poles, a fact that navigators have known for centuries. Magnetic compass, north, and geographic true north are exactly the same only for a small number of places. For example, as of 2000 in the United States, only those places on a line running from Wisconsin to the Gulf of Mexico. But the public may not be as informed and think there is something mysterious about a compass changing across an area as large as a triangle. Hurricanes are powerful storms which form in tropical waters and have historically cost thousands of lives and caused billions of dollars in damage. The sinking of Francisco de Bobadilla's Spanish fleet in 1502 was the first recorded instance of a destructive hurricane. These storms have in the past caused a number of incidents related to the triangle. Many Atlantic hurricanes pass through the triangle as they recurve off the eastern seaboard, and before the advent of weather satellites, ships often had little to no warning of a hurricane's approach. A powerful downdraft of cold air was suspected to be a cause in the sinking of Pride of Baltimore on May 14, 1986. The crew of the sunken vessel noted the wind suddenly shifted and increased velocity from 32 kilometers per hour to 97 to 145 kilometers per hour. A National Hurricane Center satellite specialist, James Lushing, stated during very unstable weather conditions, the downburst of cold air from aloft can hit the surface like a bomb, exploding outward like a giant squall line of wind and water. An explanation for some of the disappearances has focused on the presence of large fields of methane hydrates, a form of natural gas, on the continental shelves. 42 laboratory experiments carried out in Australia have proven that bubbles can indeed sink a scale model ship by decreasing the density of the water, and any wreckage would be deposited on the ocean floor or rapidly dispersed by the Gulf Stream. It has been hypothesized that periodic methane eruptions, sometimes called mud volcanoes, may produce regions of frothy water that are no longer capable of providing adequate buoyancy for ships. If this were the case, such an area forming around a ship could cause it to sink very rapidly and without warning. The sail training ship HMS Atlanta, originally named HMS Juno, disappeared with her entire crew after setting sail from the Royal Naval Dockyard, Bermuda for Falmouth, England on January 31, 1880. It was presumed that she sank in a powerful storm which crossed her route a couple of weeks after she sailed, and that her crew, being composed primarily of inexperienced trainees, may have been a contributing factor. The search for evidence of her fate attracted worldwide attention at the time. Connection is also often made to the 1878 loss of the training ship HMS Eurydice, which foundered after departing the Royal Naval Dockyard in Bermuda for Portsmouth on March 6, and she was alleged decades later to have been a victim of the mysterious triangle, an allegation resoundingly refuted by the research of author David Francis Rain in 1997. The incident resulting in the single largest loss of life in the history of the U.S. Navy not related to combat occurred when the collier Cyclops, carrying a full load of manganese ore and with one engine out of action, went missing without a trace with a crew of 306 sometime after March 4, 1918, after departing the island of Barbados. Although there is no strong evidence for any single theory, many independent theories exist, some blaming storms, some capsizing, and some suggesting that wartime enemy activity was to blame for the loss. In addition, two of Cyclops' sister ships, Proteus and Nereus, were subsequently lost in the North Atlantic during World War II. Both ships were transporting heavy loads of metallic or similar to that which was loaded on Cyclops during her fatal voyage. In all three cases, structural failure due to overloading with a much denser cargo than designed is considered the most likely cause of sinking. The schooner Carol A. Deering, as seen from the Cape Lookout light vessel on January 29, 1921, 2 days before she was found deserted in North Carolina. U.S. Coast Guard. Carol A. Deering, a 5-masted schooner built in 1919, was found hard aground and abandoned at Diamond Shoals, near Cape Hatteras, North Carolina, on January 31, 1921. FBI investigation into the Deering scrutinized, then ruled out multiple theories as to why and how the ship was abandoned, including piracy, domestic communist sabotage, and the involvement of rum runners. Flight 19 was a training flight of 5 TBM Avenger torpedo bombers that disappeared on December 5, 1945, while over the Atlantic. The squadron's flight plan was scheduled to take them due east from Fort Lauderdale for 141 miles, 227 kilometers, north for 73 miles, 117 kilometers, and then back over a final 140 miles, 225 kilometers, leg to complete the exercise. The flight never returned to base. The disappearance was attributed by Navy investigators to navigational error leading to the aircraft running out of fuel. One of the search and rescue aircraft deployed to look for them, a PBM Mariner with a 13-man crew, also disappeared. A tanker off the coast of Florida reported seeing an explosion and observing a widespread oil slick when fruitlessly searching for survivors. The weather was becoming stormy by the end of the incident. According to contemporaneous sources, the Mariner had a history of explosions due to vapor leaks when heavily loaded with fuel, as it might have been for a potentially long search and rescue operation. A pleasure yacht was found adrift in the Atlantic south of Bermuda on September 26, 1955. It is usually stated in the stories Berlitz Weiner that the crew vanished while the yacht survived being at sea during 3 hurricanes. The 1955 Atlantic hurricane season shows Hurricane Ione passing nearby between the 14th and the 18th of September, with Bermuda being affected by winds of almost gale force. In his second book on the Bermuda Triangle, Weiner quoted from a letter he had received from Mr. J. Challenger of Barbados. On the morning of September 22nd, Connemara was lying to a heavy mooring in the open roadstead of Carlisle Bay. Because of the approaching hurricane, the owner strengthened the mooring ropes and put out 2 additional anchors. There was little else he could do, as the exposed mooring was the only available anchorage. In Carlisle Bay, the sea in the wake of Hurricane Janet was awe-inspiring and dangerous. The owner of Connemara observed that she had disappeared. An investigation revealed that she had dragged her moorings and gone to sea. On August 28, 1963, a pair of U.S. Air Force KC-135 Stratotanker aircraft collided and crashed into the Atlantic 300 miles, 480 kilometers, west of Bermuda. Some writers say that while the 2 aircraft did collide, there were 2 distinct crash sites, separated by over 160 miles, 260 kilometers of water. However, Cush research showed that the unclassified version of the Air Force investigation report revealed that the debris field defining the second crash site was examined by a search and rescue ship and found to be a mass of seaweed and driftwood tangled in an old buoy. The Bermuda Triangle is a region in the western part of the North Atlantic Ocean that has been the subject of much speculation and controversy over the years. While there have been a number of reported incidents involving ships and planes that have gone missing in the Bermuda Triangle, there is no scientific evidence to support the existence of the Bermuda Triangle as a place where unusual or mysterious events are more likely to occur than in any other part of the world. Many of the reported incidents in the Bermuda Triangle may have been exaggerated or misreported, and many of the disappearances have been explained by subsequent investigations. It is important to be cautious when reading about the Bermuda Triangle and to consider the source of the information and whether it is based on credible evidence. The story of the Bermuda Triangle remains one of fascination and wonder. While many questions remain unanswered, the tales of lost ships and planes continue to capture our imagination. Whether viewed through a scientific lens or as part of folklore, the Bermuda Triangle will likely remain a topic of interest for years to come. We hope you enjoyed this exploration of the Bermuda Triangle. Thank you for joining us today.